when it comes to manifesting something, you have to first see the vision, feel the vision in order for it to manifest into life. And so, if there is a world where you can't imagine X thing to happen for you, then it's going to be very hard for you to manifest that thing. Welcome to Mindset Mastery Podcast, where we explore the intersections of motherhood and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Julissa Edwards, and in each episode, we're diving into mindset, emotional regulation, and the real stories of mom entrepreneurs navigating both business and family life. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to another solo episode with yours truly, Julissa Edwards, over on our Mindset Mastery podcast. Today, I want to speak to you all about navigating triggers around envious energy that may be subconscious to it simply might not be at the forefront of your mind, or you may not even be noticing it. And I'm talking about this envious energy that may come around that can also be attached to self-doubt when it comes to manifesting your dream life. Okay. And so in my time of working as a therapist and a mindset coach, I've done so much work around my own limiting beliefs and that of helping others with their limiting beliefs. And when it comes to manifesting something, you have to first see the vision, feel the vision in order for it to manifest into life. And so, if there is a world where you can't imagine X thing to happen for you, then it's going to be very hard for you to manifest that thing. Okay. For example, like, I don't know, if you would think of a silly thought like pigs flying, right? Pigs flying through the air, through the clouds. And if it was your dream to invent, I don't know, something or live a reality where that was happening, if you literally can't picture, even how silly it may be, a pig flying through the sky, then it is nearly impossible for that manifestation to come to life. So taking that into consideration, when you're thinking about your dream life, and what you want to accomplish, career, family, whatever may have you, can you see it? And let me take it one step further. Let's say you want to manifest creating your own business, working from home, right? Can you see yourself making $100,000 or more? Or do you see yourself making like $50,000 to $80,000? Or can you see yourself making $200,000, $300,000 a year? Like, what can you see? And that also is in direct alignment with, what do you believe to be true? What do you believe is possible? Okay. Because if you think like, yeah, maybe one day I could begin my own business and maybe I could, make ends meet, or maybe I could make, around $100,000. Does it stop there? What else is possible for you? And the reason why I'm asking this is because sometimes when you see other people doing what you think is unachievable, you can either be inspired by them or you can be triggered by them emotionally. Okay. And that's what I was referring to in the beginning of this episode when I was saying that it could be a subconscious envy that's also wrapped in self-doubt. That could also be wrapped in thoughts that sound like, oh, that life might be possible for them, but it's not possible for me. Or I should be happy with what I have, and just kind of be good with that, aka settling. I want you, this message is sent with love. I want you to sit in reflection and think about the times in your life where somebody else has told you about their fantastic life, or somebody else has told you about a wonderful opportunity, or a new way of thinking, a new perspective. And when were the times that you kind of shut that down? And why did you shut it down? What was that knee-jerk reaction? That was usually fear, right? But what was that knee-jerk reaction that made you say internally or out loud that, like, yeah, that's not possible for me? that kind of life doesn't exist for me. Or you're in la la land, like that doesn't really work out for everybody. An example that I can show in this kind of same arena is a couple years ago I was networking in my old city where I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was going to these networking meetings, I think like once a month or so, with other women in businesses. And they it was like a virtual breakout room. It was over Zoom. Some of them were in person, but this one was on Zoom in particular. And we had like these breakout sessions where we would be prompted with a discussion topic, right, where we could learn from each other, gain other people's perspective, et cetera, et cetera. And it had something to do with um, how, yes, it was quarter 2. We were ramping up for summer, so similar to where we are right now. We were ramping up for summer, and the question was, how does your business normally flow in the summer? Is it a season where it picks up for you and you're very busy? Is it a slowdown season, and do you have time to relax more? How do you handle that when your business is in a low season? Um, those kind of prompts and questions. And so I remember answering that my goal was to get back to a place where I was able to take 3 to 4 weeks off at the end of every quarter, right? I would, in the beginning of my business, maybe like a year in, I was able to create my programs and my coaching programs and my mentorship programs in a way where it would run for 3 months and then I would take a month off, allowing me to rest and prepare for my next launch kind of thing. And I was able to have money still coming in because most of those people were on payment plans. So let's say the program was like 3 months long, and they were paying me for either 3 to 6 months, depending on where their budgets were at that time. And so even though I wasn't working those 30 days, I was still receiving payments, and it was able to hold me over up until the next launch, right? And I literally lived that life where I worked for 3 months, had 3 to 4 weeks off, and then went back to work, right? And it was fantastic. I think I only had my son Marcus at that time. I had a dog. Life was grand. Okay. And so I brought up, because that's no longer where I'm at today in business. Um, and I remember talking to those business owners about saying things like, I am working my way up to get back to that reality. And rightfully so, I respect everybody's journey and everyone's insights. A lot of people, and not that they like negatively scoffed at it, but they had this anger kind of uprising within them that would say something along the lines of, that might be feasible for you and your coaching business, but that's not the way that my business runs. And I'm not here to say that that's not particularly true. But where there is a will, there is a way. If your true intention and desires is to live a life like that, where you're working for 3 months and then have 1 month off, maybe you run a coffee shop and maybe it's not feasible for you to take off a whole month because a business still has to run, right? But maybe if you made enough funds for that 1 month, you could hire somebody else to take a manager role and run the coffee shop for that month while you take vacation, right? Like, limitations don't exist when you believe it is possible. And when other people are showing you what indeed is possible for them, and you take a look at that and you feel offended in any way, shape, or form, angry, irritated, your energy becomes smaller. I'm asking you guys to reflect on any of those moments and listen. It's a reality for all of us. Another personal share, like I've struggled with my weight loss for the entirety of my life, body positivity, self-image, all the things. And so when somebody in the past would tell me like, oh, this is a diet that works, I'd be like, yo, screw you. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, because I've done so much in my life to try to overcome this internal battle. I don't want to hear what quick fix you have, because in my head, I'm like, I know it's not going to work for me. But me saying that is also me understanding that that is indeed a limiting belief, right? It's not that that diet will work for me, but I've now closed off the idea of, or the process of imagining success at my struggle, right? And let's say for you, we're talking about business here, right? I live a life where I work currently 16 hours a week. I am able to, I have a team of 3. So it's not like I'm working by myself, but I am indeed able to provide for my family financially, feel fulfilled with the work that I do as a business owner, as a therapist, and a coach, and be a full time present mama. I work from the hours of 6 a.m. to about 11 a.m. And then I take over with the kiddos and I'm with them all day until bedtime, right? Within those long days, I have babysitters come from time to time to give me some alleviation. We travel, we have fun, we budget, all the things. And my life for me right now is exactly where I want it to be. There were other seasons in my business where I was working more because I wanted to, and because I wanted to. And right now, my kiddos are 2 and 4, and my oldest is going to go into kindergarten probably next year, or I think the year after that. But I'm probably going to be putting him in some type of like schooling next year. And so, priority for me right now as a mom is to soak up all the time that I can with them while they're young. And I know that when they go back to school, I'll be able to pick the business back up even more and do whatever else I want to do with it. But regardless, what I love about my business is that it gets to shapeshift as my seasons change. And no matter how much or how little I work, I know that something is still coming in and enough to provide for me and my family financially, alongside of my husband's income, right? And it's beautiful. And so even when I say things like that, is there any part of you that, I don't know, maybe admires that, maybe it's empowering, and then also maybe it's I don't know, not rubbing you the right way, right? When you see, people's highlight reels and them, going after all their goals, and nothing is ever 100% rainbows and butterflies. There is hardship that comes with attuning to the life that you desire. For example, again, my own personal insights. In order for me to live a life where I can work 6 to 11 a.m., I've had to master um, team management, my skill sets as a CEO, not doing everything on my own, because I would never be here working 16 hours a week trying to do everything by myself. I've had to let go of a lot of control of many things in the company. And there's learning lessons with all that. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't, right? But again, my priority at this time is for me to spend more time with my children. And so, and also, we didn't want childcare at this time. That was another thing too. Last year, this time we had an au pair. I was able to work more hours. It has its pros and cons. There's other episodes that I speak more about that. But more importantly, in this current season of our lives, I didn't want childcare. Yes, we have a babysitter that'll come once a week, maybe twice, to give me some alleviation, but it's not someone that is a constant in our household. And again, I'm not saying that that is bad for someone to have that. I'm just really prioritizing and trying to get the message through that I am building a life that is what I want and desire at this time. Not what everybody else wants or desires, not because it's better than somebody else's idea or way of living. It's just the way that I desire to live. Hey, it's Julissa Edwards, your mindset coach and spiritual healer. And if you've been looking for a space to stay grounded in your growth, deepen your healing, and be surrounded by like-minded women, let me introduce you to the Mindset Mastery Circle. This is my monthly coaching membership designed for busy women who crave consistent support, especially in the areas of motherhood, entrepreneurship, mindset, and communication. Each month, we come together for a 90-minute live call where I teach a focused topic and then open space for hot seat coaching and Q&A. And in between the calls, you'll hear from me weekly with mini voice note trainings inside a private Slack group, short and powerful insights to help you shift, realign, and stay accountable across those same 4 pillars. You'll also get access to a robust vault of on-demand training so you can learn and grow at your own pace. Enrollment is ongoing at just $198 per quarter. That's about $66 a month for high-level coaching, community, and continual mindset support. And as a Circle member, you'll also get first access to all of my new programs, offers, and events, often at exclusive discounted rates. So if you've been resonating with my work and wondering how to stay in this energy without a high-ticket investment, this is your invitation. Join us inside the Mindset Mastery Circle at Julissa Edwards. counseling.com/mindset mastery circle subscription, or simply tap the link in the show notes below. I'll see you inside. And so, again, when you see people living a life that you find perfect, here's another self reflective question. Is it perfect? Is that the life that you desire? Or maybe are you envious of the happiness that they are portraying or radiating through their happy choices? Like, right? Like maybe somebody is living a life that, like, oh my goodness, you would never do. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they decided to quit their job and maybe they're backpacking through Europe, or maybe they're backpacking their way in different countries, but living a very, very modest lifestyle where like they are living off of their life savings, right? Like maybe they made a ballsy choice and they sold their home so they could travel. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, maybe it's a life that's not aligned with what you would do. And maybe you're looking at them and you're, I don't know, thinking like they're crazy or I could never do that or whatever. Sometimes the trigger is emotional and it's not directly attached to what they're doing. Sometimes it's the feeling that we wish we could feel. Sometimes it's like, wow, they seem really happy. I wish I could be that happy in my life. Or I wish I could be that courageous or that ballsy in my life. Or you might do the opposite and negate their experience and say like, oh, they're not really happy. I'm sure they're stressed living like that or whatever. Like those are what we call also projections, right? Like, are you saying that because your life feels unfulfilled? Okay. I'm just simply asking you guys to reflect deeply on this matter, because when you look inward, when you're seeing other people chase their dreams and successes and honestly just simply their happiness, I, I want to know, how does that land with you? Are you clapping for them? Are you happy for them? If that's the case, then there's usually a good chance that you're happy with your own life too, because somebody else's successes aren't an endangerment to your successes or your happiness. But if somewhere down the line you see something in somebody else's happiness or growth or abundance or prosperity or whatever in that same arena, and you look at that as a threat, or you look at that and try to belittle them, even if it's just internally, then there is something deeper to be looked at there. Okay. um Something that I used to always teach my clients back when I used to run my mind reset program was, if you're achieving something and you're having a hard time getting it, and you're seeing other people achieve this success, instead of being envious or angry or whatever, and like, look, your process, your emotional process is your process. There's no rushing that. All is valid. What I'm saying is that what you could add to that experience and that journey of emotions is asking them, how did you get there? Instead of being upset with people of their perceived or their successes, you can just ask, how did you end up doing that? What steps did you take to get there? What were your troubles alongside? What are your current troubles, even through the success? Because again, not everything is rainbows and butterflies. Everything requires some level of sacrifice, but it's worth it if it's what you desire in life, you know. And so this is going to be a really short episode. We are getting near the end of this season. My team and I are wrapping up this season of the podcast and finishing up with some solo episodes and some last interviews that I have lined up before we take a break for the summer. But the intention here is to allow yourself to reflect and ask, what limiting beliefs am I holding on to that aren't serving me at this time? Where do I point the finger outwardly? Where do I judge that is also not serving me at this time? And even more importantly, what is it teaching me about myself and my perceived limitations to what I think is feasible for me in my lifetime, in my successes, in my growth, in my abundance? What's blocking you? Okay. If you haven't already heard, we have a couple of new offers that are really, really special. If you're in the Charleston, Somerville area, we have just began doing in-person spiritual healing sessions. Think aroma scented incense candles, essential oils, card pulling meditation, a beautiful transformative journey for those looking for clarity in their emotional well being, career, or business next steps. or just simply their overall mental health and well-being. So if you're in the area, let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you about what that could look like for you. And then also we have our newest subscription-based program, which is only at $66 a month right now. Where you get to meet with me once a month alongside your colleagues and come together for a community call, be held, be nurtured, have breakthroughs. And then throughout the weeks in between that monthly call, you also get live weekly audio trainings from myself on certain topics that we can talk more about if you're interested in learning what that looks like. It's perfect for alumni. It's perfect for individuals who have already worked with me and want to continue working with me in a low cost yet impactful environment. And it's also good for individuals who are new to my world and don't want to invest high ticket just yet, but want to get a taste of my medicine. That's a perfect place to begin too. That is a Mindset Mastery Circle. And then lastly, if you're a mom that desires to grow a business, feed her family well financially, and also be really happy with the work that you're doing and your service to others, and essentially spend more time with your children without the stressors of working a 9 to 5 or lacking income, then BBB might be the perfect program for you. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that this reflective episode allows you to just understand yourselves a little bit better. And always, 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 please give yourself grace. Do not be the bad guy of like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be thinking this way. All of your feelings and emotions are valid as part of our healing journey. I thank you for taking the time with me to pause and reflect. I hope you journal on what's coming up for you. And as always, please, if this episode hit home for you, leave us a review. Leave us a review on the podcast that you were listening to or the engine that you were listening to it on, whether that's Spotify or Google or Apple, or I think we're located in other places too. YouTube, if you're on YouTube watching this, please drop a comment on what was most impactful. But that's it. This is a short and sweet episode. I hope it lands and resonates well. That's all for now. If you want the links to any of the services that I mentioned, please look at the show notes below. Get yourself on my calendar, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me today on Mindset Mastery Podcast. I hope today's conversation inspired you to embrace your own journey of balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship. Remember, it's all about mastering your mindset to create a life of success and fulfillment in both areas. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more incredible moms just like you. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and mastering your mindset.